Congratulations! Wow! You've just realized how your own thoughts in your own mind, in your own head, can hold you back and basically keep you in a prison. It's okay, it happens to a lot of us. So you've reached a point in your journey where you don't just believe everything your mind tells you. That'd be ridiculous. You've started to question your thoughts. Or maybe you're like a self-help overachiever and you're going to dive right in and question every single thought. It could happen. If you love to categorize things the way I do, then this video is for you. If you've ever tried to meditate, you know how hated thoughts are. I'm just kidding. Thoughts aren't hated. But the point of meditation is, of course, to get past all of that mental chatter and find the spaces beyond your monkey mind. So in meditation, we're told to just observe your thoughts, watch them go by like passing clouds. And when your mind wanders, you simply bring it back to the present moment. Again, and 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 again. But what about all the thoughts that you're having throughout your day when you're not meditating? When I figured out almost all my thoughts could be put in just a few different categories, it really gave me a lot of insight to myself. I came up with 9 what I call thought categories: catastrophizing, attempt to control, distraction, stories, victim, from a wall, did I just put up a wall? Blaming, judgments, and projections. Keep watching and we'll have some fun exploring all these different categories. I'm going to address catastrophizing first because that's probably the one that's had the most negative impact on my life. Also because my boyfriend was getting really sick of my shit, i.e. negativity. Catastrophizing is automatically thinking and believing and knowing the worst will happen. It's all darkness, there's nothing to look forward to, and you spend your energy preparing for the worst. I found myself catastrophizing about big things, loud things, little things, plastic things, furry things. You get the point. And the alarming part was I didn't know I was doing any of this. I was unaware. I was catastrophizing subconsciously. And if I could only show you the total crap I was manifesting in my life. Another thought category I came up with was attempt to control. And just about everybody does this because if we think we are in control of something, it makes us feel better because we think it cures and solves our fears. So trying to control everything, how's that been working for you? I'm starting to think control freak is not a compliment. The next category I came up with is distraction. This one's self-explanatory. Next up in my thought categories are stories. Now, stories aren't always bad. I mean, I am here on YouTube telling my story, but at the same time, certain stories we tell ourselves can really keep us stuck. Why would I leave my house today? The last time I tried to go outside, a piano almost fell on me. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who was raised to think she was a total, worthless, despicable piece of shit. And that little girl grew up to hate herself very, very much. My next thought category is victim. This can be a very sensitive and sometimes a confusing subject. As these thought categories were giving me great insights to myself, with this one I needed to be brutally honest. And we all know how fun that is. Horrific things happen to people every day. Lots of children spend their whole childhood being victimized by their caregivers or authority figures or strangers. But the ones I think who have moved ahead despite that have found a way to stop being that victim. And I had to really think hard about something Eckhart Tolle said, that we can get addicted to being the victim. We can get addicted to being the victim because it gives us a payoff that we are needing, maybe attention or pity. It can be a manipulative way to try to get our needs met, to try to get love. And it sucked, but I had to look at how I had been addicted to being the victim. I didn't know I was doing it at first, of course. It took the inner work to see it, to become more aware of it. Another thought category I came up with is from a wall. Did I just put up a wall? If you had truly loving parents and were brought up in a genuinely healthy, strong support system, you can just fast forward through this part. Does anyone know anyone like that? I don't even know where to start with this one. I think even my walls have walls. Being vulnerable and intimate is a big challenge for a lot of us. I'm going to add in here that some people who think they were raised in a loving household, they may think they had a loving childhood, and they tell themselves that story a lot. Is that you? I was talking to a man a couple weeks ago, and we had just met, and he told me a story about his family, but he had said how his wife was perfect and his children were perfect. And my BS detector went off immediately, of course, because I'm not an idiot. As we talked more, he told me an incident about how one time his daughter had talked back to his mother, his wife. He told me he had grabbed her by the neck and put her up against the wall and gave her a couple. I think he had been drinking too at the time. So people greatly delude themselves. Many people are very, very much removed from reality, and a lot of people don't even know how to recognize abuse and different kinds of abuse. If you notice big walls in yourself, but you think you had a good, healthy childhood, you might want to take a much more honest and deeper look at how you were raised. The next thought category I came up with is blaming. One place I see this a lot is in what I like to call 3D relationships. Hey honey, remember how you said you'd pick up my dry cleaning today? Yeah, Yeah, well, remember last year when you showed up 20 minutes late to our date night? Is that actually what you're upset about? This type of behavior, defending and deflecting things by blaming and finger pointing, are usually a huge clue that you are harboring a great deal of shame inside yourself, myself too, that you're just unwilling to look at. My penultimate thought category is judgment. Nice BMW for a 20-something, but mommy and daddy saved your ass from crippling student loan debt. I ate the whole pizza. I can't believe I ate the whole pizza. I am a horrible person. My final thought category is projection. Oh, my electric bill keeps going up and up. That leaves me with $100 in my bank account. Oh no, little Timmy, you can't have a new video game for your birthday because money doesn't grow on trees. Hey, sexy. Last night you were incredible. Oh, hey, baby. Oh, you're gonna go hang out with your friends from work at the bar? Rachel gonna be there? It's 2017. We all know what projecting is, right? So there you have it. My 9 categories I came up with for thoughts for when you're not meditating. And if I want to round it up to an even 10, not that I have anything against the number 9, you could add the category of ego, which is where all these other categories come from. I'd say they're all coming from the ego. And maybe like me, putting your thoughts into these different groups will give you more deeper insight into yourself. It's kind of like being a transcendental Darwin. So leave in the comments below. I'd be really interested in hearing which thought categories you're most aware of and which have been consistently flying under your consciousness radar. And remember, if your conscious mind is not noticing these different types of thoughts, it doesn't necessarily mean they're not there. It doesn't mean necessarily that you don't have them. It means you're probably not aware of them, and they're most likely hiding and buried in your subconscious. Happy, joy. You can't seriously expect me to clean up all this crap myself. Pretty sure that's why God invented maids.